Today you are going to learn the kanji for the first 10 numbers in Japanese. But I do not want you to remember them as 10 isolated symbols. In Kanji Tales, kanjis become characters, places, and events within one shared world. And because many kanji return as components inside larger characters, every story you learn can become a clue for learning the next one.
In the beginning, 10 primordial beings existed in a realm without limits. Their deeds became the oldest legends of the world.
By the end of this video, you will not need to remember 10 abstract drawings. You will only need to recognize 10 characters.
The 1.
This is the kanji for the number 1. It is pronounced Ichi, and it is written with a single horizontal stroke from left to right. One line, one unit. 1.
Before there were limits, there was a being stretched across the void, vast, flat, and horizontal. Its body formed the first plane of existence, the eternal horizon from which reality could begin. With nothing else to divide it from, it was all that existed. It seemed asleep, yet it perceived everything. It was the first, unique, immense, alone.
Remember that body stretched over the void. One line, one being. Ichi, 1.
The 2.
This is 2. It is pronounced ni. It has 2 horizontal strokes, the upper one first, then the lower one. In our image, the lower line is living ground, and the upper line is a star-filled sky.
The first horizon was covered with mosses, ferns, and roots. High above it, darkness clothed itself in stars and deep blue seas. Ground and sky became the 2 opposing faces of a single being. He looked upward. She looked down. They could watch, admire, and love one another for eternity, but they could never touch. Thus came the first love and the first tragedy.
Look for the 2 planes, ground and sky. 2 lines, 2 faces. Ni, 2.
The 3.
This is 3. It is pronounced san. It has 3 horizontal strokes, written from top to bottom. To remember it, each line will become one sister.
The third was born with 3 faces and 3 bodies, 3 sisters who shared a single essence. They were like one light refracted through crystal into 3 tones, white, gray, and black. The white sister imagined beings of light. The black sister dreamed of creatures of shadow. And the gray sister conceived lives where both natures could meet. They could imagine entire worlds, but they could not yet make them real.
When you see san, do not count lines. Look for the 3 sisters. 3 lines. San, 3.
The 4.
This is 4. The most useful reading for counting is yon, although it can also be read shi. It means 4, but it has 5 strokes. The outer frame becomes the 4th's mouth, while the forms inside it become legs.
The 4th was the first being to try to move. Its 4 legs pulled in 4 directions: forward, backward, left, and right. None gave way. Its body stretched until the strain opened a mouth at its center. From it came the first cry, the cry of one who longed to move forward and discovered that it could not. Its forces balanced, and all things became still again.
The outer shape recalls the 4th's mouth, while the inner marks echo its legs. They are not a literal portrait, but the 2 features that define the being. Its mouth and its legs, yon, 4.
The 5.
This is 5. It is pronounced go and has 4 strokes. In its shape, we can see an upper plane, a kneeling figure in the center, and another plane beneath its knees.
Then came the 5th, the most imposing being yet. Existence placed one plane upon its shoulders and another beneath its knees. It could face the same 4 directions as all the beings before it, but it discovered a 5th, inward. There, it found a vast self, full of questions and possibilities. It had proven that it could carry the world, but not yet whether it could carry itself. and so it remained still.
2 planes and a kneeling being. The 5th discovers a new direction, inward, toward the self. That is why this image will return when we meet the kanji for I, myself. Go. 5.
The 6th.
This is number 6. It is pronounced Roku and has 4 strokes. Its upper part can look like a hat. Below it, there is a covered figure and 2 legs.
The 6th hid beneath a wide hat and a long mantle, shutting out the noise of the world to sharpen its senses. Its sight took in all that existed. Its hearing grew so clear that even thoughts could no longer remain silent. Then a 6th sense awakened, intuition. Through it, the 6th understood that the primordial beings were not failing. It was the motionless reality itself that kept them from using their gifts.
A hat, a hidden figure, and the 6th sense, intuition. Roku. 6.
The 7.
This is number 7. It has 2 strokes and can be read nana or shichi. Here we will use nana. Notice how one stroke passes through the other. That will become our image of a cut.
The 7th wielded a cutting magic. She knew she had only a few movements before stillness would claim her. With the 1st, she proved that stillness could be broken. With the 2nd, she cut through reality. Beyond the opening, a new world appeared. One by one, the primordial beings crossed the veil and for the first time used the gifts they had always carried within.
Look closely. It is the 7th seen in profile, with the brim of her hat cutting across her face. Her silhouette becomes the character, and her blade becomes the cut. Nana. 7.
The 8th.
This is number 8. It is pronounced Hachi, and has 2 strokes that move apart, forming an ever-widening opening.
The 7th left a wound between 2 realities. To guard it, the 8th was born, supple, elusive, and endowed with 8 arms. It stretched its body around the cut and held its edges in place. Then, its skin took on the colors and textures of the landscape until the path disappeared completely. It was the octopus, the octopod, the guardian of worlds. No one could cross it. No one could return.
These 2 strokes are the opening in the veil where the 8th makes its home. 8 arms guard the passage. Hachi. 8.
The 9.
This is number 9. It is written with 2 strokes. Here we will read it as Q, though it can also be read Ku. Its great curve seems to surround and protect something.
The 9th carried a hope that did not yet have a face. The seed of humanity was placed within it. For 9 cycles, as a human life grows for 9 months, it sheltered the seed, nourished it, and felt it grow. When the final cycle ended, the first men and women opened their eyes. The 9th gave 1 pair to each primordial being, so they might learn from them. From those 9 pairs came 9 lineages, and later, the 9 clans.
The curve is the 9th kneeling and placing its children upon the ground. 9 cycles of human life. Q. 9.
The 10.
This is number 10. It is pronounced Ju and has 2 strokes. The horizontal stroke first, then the vertical one. The 2 lines cross at the center.
War forced existence to create the 10th, the Annihilator. It hunted the primordial beings, their creatures, and humankind. To survive, the first 9 set aside their differences and fought together. After defeating it, they sealed the strongest parts of its body inside 10 cross-shaped crystals. The horizontal seal blocked one direction of its power. The vertical seal blocked the other. Where both were interrupted, its power could be contained.
The cross is also the shape of the 10 crystals that seal the Annihilator's divided body. 1 horizontal line, 1 vertical line. 10 seals containing a power brought to a halt. Ju. 10.
And this is the world we live in.
In the next chapter, I'll explain how these crystals formed the ground beneath our feet and gave rise to a gravitational instability that even today, we are still trying to control. Today you memorize the kanji from 1 to 10 by meeting the beings that live within their forms. These are not 10 isolated stories. They are the first pieces of one world. As you learn more kanji, you will find these same beings, places, and ideas again inside larger characters. If you want to keep building that world with me, subscribe. This is only the beginning of Kanji Tales.